Hey everybody, this is Brian from Carving is Fun, and in this video I'm going to share with you my review on the Schrade Old Timer 44OT Workmate. Now this channel is all about carving, so this video will be primarily focused on using this knife for whittling and wood carving. Now this is a great budget-friendly whittling knife that comes with multiple blades. It's also perfect for anyone that just wants a nice and cheap everyday carry knife. It gets the job more than done, and it's a good option for most people. The steel that they use on it is 7CR17, and it has a Rockwell hardness of about 57 to 59, which is on that lower bracket for where you want your whittling knife hardness to be. It comes out of the box with a general purpose cutting edge. You will need to hone it. I've honed mine down. It's not too hard to do. It's ready ground decent enough. You just need to hone it off a little. The edge retention is decent. It's not super great, but it'll last you a pretty long time. And one of the best parts about it is that this knife is only like 17 to 20 bucks. Pretty dang cheap, and you get 4 knives out of it. So what is that? It's almost $5 per knife. Get these all opened up, you can see them all. But yeah, it's a pretty good value for what you're getting there. And some of the knives that I primarily use for the whittling is this guy and this guy right there. I just find that they offer the right lengths and the right type of blades for what I like to whittle with. Now, this is a great all-around knife for just like general purpose in whittling and for everyday carry stuff. So it's just one of those ones that you just grab and throw in your pocket. You can designate 1 or 2 knives for just whittling. For me, I'd say use this one just for whittling. It's a really good shape and good length for just general purpose. It seems like it holds its cutting edge for a decent amount of time. It's not amazing, but for the price that you're paying for it, you're getting a really good value for it. And one of the other things too is it comes with a nice thin blades on it, so you can actually glide through the wood. Like let's compare it to a more expensive knife. This is the Flex Cut Woodland Jack. There we go. You can see it's just a hair thinner. That's great. It helps you cut right through that wood really easily. You can slice off wood very fast with it. It's just a good little knife. And then, like I was saying, the price of this knife it's a steal of a deal for what you're getting. It may be made in China, but you know what? It's a good knife for the price. So if you are looking for a decent knife just to start off with, or just a good everyday carry knife, great option for you. I'd say get it if it's a budget issue. Go ahead and pick the sucker up. It'll last you a long time. Matter of fact, I have another Schrade around here somewhere. I think it's in the house. I found it at the bottom of a toolbox. It was one of the much earlier versions of the knife. It had a little bit of rust on it from just being in the bottom of a toolbox for about 10 years, but I was able just to sharpen it, put a little bit of oil on it, and it was basically a fully functional knife again. But yeah, for the price that you're paying for these guys, I think I paid $17 for mine. I'm very happy with what I paid for. I knew what I was getting into. It was going to be a cheaper knife, and usually cheaper knives with multiple blades on it, they're not always that great, but this one was pretty good for what it was. Now before I get into what I wasn't too terribly fond about with the knife, I just want to let you know I also compared this knife to a bunch of other pocket knives for whittling. So if you want to see that video and check out other options that are out there, because maybe this one's not the best for you. You never know. You might find something in that video that just speaks to you. Go ahead and check that video out. I'll have it linked in the bottom and at the end of the video as well. So check that video out whenever you get the chance. Now, some of the things I wasn't too fond of about the knife, one was primarily its size. Now, I have pretty big hands, and you can see it's just it kind of gets dwarfed in my hands here a little bit. For people with larger hands, it might be harder to hold on to, might slip out of their hands, or you might increase chance of nicking yourself, which is the case with me sometimes when I use knives that are a little bit too small for my hands. But if you have smaller hands, it'll work much better. One of the other things I wasn't too happy about, which is bothering me right now, primarily with these knives right here, you can see where the knife bottoms are right here. They kind of dig into my fingers. I wish that the handle went up just a hair over to finish that, so that my finger is not constantly hitting that little bump there. Part of the reason why I have this on right now, because I can just hold it and it's not going to give me too much of a blister. But that kind of annoys me. All the other things are fine. Like they ground down some of the rivets right there, but these rivets aren't ground down. And another thing that I noticed, at least this one was specific to mine, I found that the inner part right here was bowed in just a hair, where when you went to close this one, you can see it's not going down all the way right now. It would actually impact the side of the knife there and cut into it, and both take a small chunk out of here and dull the knife at the same time. I just ground the inside down a little bit and now it's fine. But just check it out. I mean, it's a cheap knife. I'm not saying it's a bad knife just because of that. I knew what I was getting into when I was buying the knife. So it's not necessarily a super bad thing. Another thing too was the edge on the knife wasn't exactly like whittling sharp. Again, I didn't expect that out of a $17 knife. It just needs to be honed down a little bit. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just get a good strop and you can hone it down, make it nice and sharp. Get it sharp to your liking, and then you can go from there. But it comes with a good enough blade for everyday use. So it's not like it's dull. It's still decently sharp, but if you want to use it for whittling, I would suggest go ahead and just drop it for a little bit. You're going to need to learn how to do that anyways, so it's not a deal breaker right there. But overall, it's a decent knife for the price. I do recommend it if you are just looking for a basic knife that you kind of want to get in whittling knife. I do recommend it if you're trying to get into whittling and just want a basic knife to get started with, but yet want to use it for other stuff as well. It's really hard to beat for the $17 price tag on it, but just keep in mind it might be small for some people's hands. And the channel is all about carving. It's a fun way for me to share some of my wood carving, some of my stone carving stuff, and also all the little fun tools I get to use along the way. So feel free to like and subscribe. It helps keep me motivated to keep making more videos the more that I see people like them. Kind of took up too much wood on the top there. Oh well, I'll just call it done for right now. Thanks for watching everyone, and I hope you have yourself a great day.